Yes, this is a pandemic from a perspective from memory studies. I put my interest in memory studies and traumatic studies in related with cinema actually, but uh, for this webinar, I'm trying to say something only from memory studies related with pandemic. I wrote as a letter to friends somewhere out there because I assume I'm one of the millions people at home, trapped in their own home, trapped in their own country, and left their memories somewhere uh, in very uncertain time, a time when we can, see and visit them again or see the places again, and maybe the only way to visit them, just like now, using the Zoom, using the media, using the internet. It's become the very primary in our life at the moment. So I'm asking the question, how do you feel right now? Is it upbeat, hopeful, motivated? I clearly hope so, but I'm willing to bet over the past few months, we have experienced a flood of emotion that we made that made us feel anxious, upset, downright overwhelmed. COVID-19 is global and also it's local. It's microscopic, but also having maximum macro impact. It kind of, we like, I mobilize and yet frantically still working is confusing and unsettling to say the least. Let's say we have a conversation before the pandemic and we pretty sure will not affect us, will not affect our country, will not affect our town, and now it changed. Almost all people in the world feel and experience the same. And but also we feel like there's a hopeful bit. It also opportunity to catalyze the moment of connection and the way we respond strategically now and in the coming months, because it's still uncertain times, how we shape how we connect with others, and it will refer to the story of this time and how we relate to one another in the future. As Dr. Tedros Adhanom believe, there is still time, still change the course of this pandemic. Maybe it's not the worst, but maybe also the future still comes. Maybe tomorrow, we never know. Because the advice precaution for dealing with the coronavirus asks us to focus on ourselves. Wash your hand, cover your mouth, don't host or attend large gatherings. In contrast with our country yesterday, we have 10,000 people gathering. I don't know why. The precautions make us turn inward to focus on the virus impact on our individual health and the interruption of our daily lives. As much as we have to take these precautions, we must also understand that they are doing something to us. The virus are arranging us in ways that we never imagined before. Some of the effects we worry about here will locate themselves in what we call affective reminder, residual intensities, and also we imagine this will exacerbate fear, aversion of the other, those who are always already blamed, like black people, uh, Papuan people in my country, xenophobic blaming of Asian and African nation for the viruses. We remember the incident in Australia, in other countries. And also it's just like we trying to repeat the history when the homophobic blaming of queer communities, when the AIDS emerged in the past like 10, 20 years ago. Also, we said that now is a critical time to focus our collective attention on the global and local arrangements that implicated in the management of the coronavirus. We want folks who care about social justice. We're trying to seize this opportunity to explore and challenge what COVID-19 shows us about the hidden or maybe not so hidden arrangements of our life. Our lives now individually wrought these days like candy bars during the lunch-size yogurt. We are each a tiny container. We are individuals. when we are going out somewhere, we don't want a bus. We want our own car or own ride. We avoid crowds. We don't want to stay close. We can't hug our sister, our brother, our friends, and we don't want someone to hug us. Even we can chat and we can share our food. We have to be so precautious. It will be ringing the alarm if someone is sneezing or coughing around us, the thing that we never expect in the past. We have created our own story when we see ambulance in the front yard of our neighbor. We have our own word in our head. We made it our own version. We didn't hear our neighbor version. As long as we function our individuals, our ability to solve complex social problems will fail us. The habits of individual and personal solution precede us. However, at a deeper level, we feel the distance between the growing and more intense social emergency and the organization of our daily lives. Individual solution feel, how can we use this moment to question our lack of universal healthcare, or the problem is our health system, or realize how individual we are when we have this pandemic. In Bali, for example, when I arrived in Bali yesterday, I saw an empty city. How massive tourism strategy in Bali fails over and over again when we win and we never learn. How giant industry fall down while micro level business stand up. How we ignore the needs of online network infrastructure for years. How we see our education system opens its bed safe. We have to see all the scars, we have to see all the cracks, we have to see all the issues with this one particular virus. Collective memory plays on our emotion, which is why it is so easy to fit the political game of power and not necessarily common good. Memory feeds on fear. Concealed from us, a critical view of reality argues with ratio about the sense of the action patterns. Is there room for memory in the future? Can memory studies today tell us something about how this memory will look in decades or centuries? Is there a normative aspect of memory studies that can be helpful and worth undertaking? Memory for science. I think this is a moment when suddenly we all started to listen to the scientists. We are following the data on mortality. We see the numbers of cured people, those who pass the disease without symptoms or new complications. We are listening to the reports of the new drugs, therapies using X61 that might bring hope, predictions about the vaccine. We all know about statistics. We see the chart, we read the chart, we know about the flattening of the curve, the relationship between wearing a mask and the potential for infections, data, all the numbers. We believe scientists, doctors, epidemiologists, we distance ourselves from nonsense, talk about politicians and celebrities. Science has not enjoyed such social prestige for this long time. Will it stay in our individual or collective memory for longer? Once the threat is over, will it soon end? Or just this is the beginning? So in this phenomena, although they are socially quiet, are still present. Anti-vaccine present, all the conspiracy theories, the protests about lockdown and quarantine, wearing face masks, or maintaining social distancing shows clearly that this is not the case. Science cannot be sure of the symbolic achievement in times of the pandemic. It will not survive in class with anti-vaccine celebrities and other anti-science populists. So the healing trauma through the walk of memory, the collective experience of death, its closeness, which we all experience today indirectly, many of us indirectly, and many of us also directly affected, but which some places in the world have felt with the great force, causes, and will cause unpredictable psychological effects. The trauma of those who have fought the pandemic and of those who have experienced it will not pass easily. Stress often keeps us under control today. Lockdown having its effect also. We never leave our home. We see friends from Zoom and we chat from WhatsApp lines, and we see ourselves as an individual humans. Education to work with memory is not only struggle for particular safe or the political community or the politics of memory, but above all is responsibility for the shape of our communities in traumatized societies after the pandemic. It is also a task for normative studies on memory for the future, because remembering the survival is the value for the humanity. We will remember what we have been through now for our granddaughter, our grandchild, and maybe in the future. Maybe we never see our friends directly, but maybe it's for the better good, for the memory of our children in the future. Thank you for my poem, my short essays. Now, John, welcome. The virtual room is yours.